I want to share with you my experience with RF microneedling. So I'm always on the search for things that help us fight the aging process. And I've always thought a multi-pronged approach is best. So I've always kind of focused on skincare, makeup techniques, lifestyle changes. But another option is office procedures. And so I've always kind of kept an eye out on things that may be something I'm interested in trying. And so I was hearing a lot of good things about RF microneedling. And specifically, I was looking at the Scarlett microneedling device. I used to do microneedling at home, and this is the principle behind it is that you're creating little punctures in the skin, and what that does is it actually stimulates collagen production. And that is a main factor when you're wanting to address fighting the aging process. But there are, just like with everything else, there are risks. And doing this at home, you run the risk of possibly overdoing it because it's very easy to overdo it. You could get an infection. You could even get some of those little needles lodged into your skin. I never experienced that, but I know that that could possibly happen. So in my mind, getting this done professionally seemed to be safer, as well as a lot more effective. So the needles that we have at home are not as long as what they use in a doctor's office. And especially when you're combining it with RF, what that does is the needles go in at a much deeper level, but then they also emit radio frequency, which then stimulates collagen on a much deeper level. And so by doing this, what the benefits are is that it's very much of a tightening effect to the skin. Now, they recommend doing this 3 to 4 times, like a series of 3 to 4 times initially, to really get your skin into a good place. And then after that, you can do it like annually. So I know that with menopause, you can plan on seeing your skin really take a hit because of that estrogen loss. With the loss of estrogen, that's when you start seeing the loss of collagen as well. So I was wanting to kind of come up with a plan on how to alleviate that as much as possible. So that's why this treatment really did appeal to me. My plan was to do this, along with my skincare routine and things like that, but to do this on an annual basis. And that seemed doable to me. So I chose to do both my face and my neck, and this was going to cost me a little bit over $1,000. So it's not cheap, but office procedures rarely are cheap. So I wasn't interested in doing 3 to 4 sessions. I was just planning on doing a session a year. I was warned that this was going to be a bit painful, and I'm not going to lie, it was. They do put lidocaine all over your face, and that helped, but it seemed inconsistent. Some spots, it seemed like I was completely numb, and other spots, I could definitely feel it. And so she did 3 passes all over my face and my neck. After this was done, they then wash your face, and I remember commenting on how great the cleanser smelled. And after that, then they put a growth factor on, and I went home. I really didn't have any issues there. And I do have to say, I was very happy with how my skin was so glowing. It did purge a little bit, but after that, I just had a beautiful glow. And they say that you will see improvement for 6 months. And it's been 6 months, and I can't complain about my skin, but I can't say that I saw 6 months of improvement. So if I were to stop at this point, if you were to ask me if I would do it again, I would say maybe on an annual basis if you are seeing improvements. But unfortunately, that's not the end of my story. I came home that night, everything was kind of going as expected. You know, you feel like you had like a sunburn or, you know, tenderness, but I really didn't have any problems. It wasn't until the next day that I started getting real itchy, and I started getting really red, and I had a severe allergic reaction. My face blew up. I mean, I was unrecognizable. And I ended up having to go to the emergency room because I had such a severe allergic reaction. I don't know if it was due to the treatment itself, if it was the growth hormone, if it was the products that they used on my face. Like I say, I actually commented on how good the cleanser smelled, so you know it was highly fragrant. I really am not here to discourage you from doing this. I just want to share my experience with you. And if you have any concerns, to talk to the technician before getting this done. I do feel like I did research this, and I really did look into it, but I'm looking into it like, okay, what does this do? What is it claiming to do? This and that. I did not look at what, you know, could this cause a severe allergic reaction? And that's what ends up happening is we're looking to see what are the benefits of this procedure, not necessarily what are the risks. And even if you are seeing like, okay, the cons of this are it's painful, it's expensive, it's this, it's that. Unfortunately, I didn't research severe allergic reaction. And after going through this, I then did look, and there were very few articles on it. But let me just say, there were a few cases reported, and I have to read it because it's long, of facial allergic granulomatous reaction and systematic hypersensitivity associated with microneedle therapy for skin rejuvenation. So I will leave the links to those articles below if you're interested in looking more into it. Again, this may not happen to you, and there's lots of people that absolutely benefit from this procedure, but unfortunately I wasn't one of them, and this does come with some added risks that you probably aren't running across when you research this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you're enjoying my content, and I hope you have a great day.